Fourth of the day, the Ladoran Group Handicap 1900. And we've only got 5 to go round here. This mounting out is brought to you by Harvey Norman. If you need advice, they are there to help. First one we look at is Red Excitement. Gerald Ryan and Josh Parr has had that little freshen up, 5 weeks.
Yeah, it has, and it's had a trial, and it was a lovely trial. They just rode him quietly and let him hit the line. It was a real eye catcher, just had to keep him ticking along since he went around in the Group 1 Epsom handicap. Finished midfield there, wasn't too far away, and didn't have a lot of luck in the run behind Hartnell, so this is a lot easier for him. He's trained on track. I know it's been a long time since he's won a race, but 12 of his 13 career victories have come on good tracks, so today is his day.
Mask of Time, a last start winner of the Kunji at Caulfield. Well, he shared the win with Best of Days in a dead heat. Travels up to Sydney. Glyn Schofield for Kieran Maher and David Eustace.
Yeah, on straight form, you'd say that's the right form. The last start Group 3 winner, even though he dead heated it. But the question that, or the stat that jumps off the page, 13 starts on good tracks for only 1 placing. All his forms on soft tracks. So we'll need to find out if he can reproduce that on top of the ground today.
So that's Mask of Time. Now we go to the Lord Mayor, Chris Waller and Jay Ford, also back from Melbourne.
Yeah, back from Melbourne, racing really well, this horse, this time in. I think it took Chris Waller a preparation to really work him out. He came across from New Zealand with big form behind him, and he just didn't fire at the first prep. But this prep has been a different story. He put those 2 wins together at Randwick, then Rosehill. Went around in the Metrop, wasn't too bad at all. Finished midfield, went down to Caulfield for the Herbert Power. Now that's top-notch stayers there, and then went back to an easier race at Moonee Valley and ran a very good second. So against this field, small field, he's got the tactical speed. He's got to be a big chance.
Now Embley, who needs to find form. Andrew Atkins, Bjorn Baker gets the blinkers on today.
Yeah, it's a string of duck eggs next to Embley's name, isn't it? Which is always a concern. Small fields, anything can happen. The blinkers go back on. He'll probably lead the field up, but it would be a big form turnaround if he found a winning run today.
And the other Waller runner is Naval Warfare. Kathy O'Hara is on board.
Yeah, form disappointing if you look at it this prep, but maybe he's just needed those runs. He's a big, strong galloper. He's only got 52 kilos on his back today, and again, the small field probably takes away that traffic that he often seems to find in his runs. So with a similar story for a few of these today, they get their chance and they need to stand up and be counted.
Race number 4, only 5 of them. Jockeys are mounting up and about to head out. Paul Joyce is about to catch up with Annabelle Neesham here about Mask of Time. And you can delve into that stat, that good track stat that doesn't look the best on paper, does it, Paul?
Yeah, I've got Annabelle with me now. I've got Charlie Duckworth chiming in over the back. But Annabelle, Mask of Time, 13 starts on a good track, only 1 placing. But on its last start win, you'd have to think it's got the right form coming into this.
Yeah, exactly. He got his soft ground last start. There was a little bit of give in the track there, and he was very brave. He dug deep, and obviously it was a dead heat. So we were keen to bring him here where he might just get that little bit of juice in the ground rather than Flemington.
Yeah, good point, I suppose. We're on a good 4 here. They're running reasonable time, but it doesn't seem lightning. Now, tactically, does he have to lead? There's a couple of horses here that may want the front.
Yeah, he doesn't have to lead. He did lead last start. I don't think that was necessarily the plan, but he got it pretty easy in front. But I think if Emblem goes forward, we'll just try and sit just off him and just hope there's a decent tempo.
And how's he done since he's come up?
Yeah, he's done really well. He got up here a couple of days ago, travelled up well, eaten up, and he looks great in the coat and everything.
All right, thanks for joining us. Good luck, Annabelle.
No worries, thanks.
So they're heading to the gates here for race number 4. $4 into 360 Red Excitement on the NOP. $4 out from 340 Mask of Time. $2.80, now $2.90 for the Lord Mayor. $19 for Embley and $4.60 for Naval Warfare. Late mail.
Late mail for me, Greg. I am going 2, 5, 3 and 7. I've got number 2 on top, the Old Boy Red Excitement. I think back on the good track today, his home track. He's got a tactical edge on these. I think he can lead, he can sit just off them. Either way, I think he's going to be right in this up to his ears. Number 5, the Lord Mayor, coming through that good Victorian form, goes in for 2nd. Mask of Time has to go in for 3rd. I'm just not sure how he'll handle this track today, if it's going to be too firm for him. And number 7, Naval Warfare, in for 4th. But confident the 2 Red Excitement will run a big race here.
So I'll go down this board one more time with Red Excitement at $3.60 now, $3.60. $4 out from 340 Mask of Time. $2.90 for the Lord Mayor. Embley at $19 and Naval Warfare $4.60. It was $4.40 into $4.20, back out to $4.60. So hardly a lead there. Hardly a lead at all. Let's see if Gerald Ryan can give us a lead. How will the Old Boy go today, Gerald? Red Excitement.
Oh, well, you know, he appears to be well. He's going good. The only reservation I got, he's going 5 weeks, jumping up to the 1900, but he's had a trial, and a softish trial because it's on a heavy track, and then he had a jump out here the other morning, but he's going all right.
Yeah, and importantly, he gets his favoured surface here today, doesn't he?
Gets his favourite surface, and it's good cushion on the track. He's going to get a chance where he can get his head down and bowl, whether he bowling 1-1 or whether he's bowling in front. We'll just leave that up to Josh and the tempo that's in the race. But, you know, he's a 9-year-old. To say he's going as good as he was 18 months ago, you're kidding yourself. But the horse is still going good enough to be very competitive in a race like this.
Good luck, Gerald.
Thanks, mate.
Red Excitement, 9-year-old now, and will always, always be remembered for that day he set off with that massive lead and tried to pinch it in a Chelmsford Stakes against Winks. Winks got to him easy in the end, but it made for great theatre and great to watch.
It sure did. Look, it was one of those races, as you said, he's won 12 races already, hasn't he? Or 13 races in his career, yet everyone remembers his 2nd.
That's right.
And it was such a bold ride by Josh Barr that day, who's aboard again today, and obviously a much easier race for him. And look, I do think with Red Excitement, he's got that tactical ability in a race. He can make a move at any stage, and with a small field today, that could prove the difference.
Be a good training effort, 1600 up to 1900, 5 weeks between runs and a trial in between, but 5 weeks is 5 weeks.
It is, yeah. That was a lovely trial, obviously. And look, Red Excitement's a horse who's gone around in just about every provincial cup there has been. I mean, he's a 9-year-old. He's been and done everything. So I don't think it'll worry him that he's up to the 1900. But as you said, it takes a training knack to be able to do that. And if anyone can do it, I'm sure Gerald Ryan can. Mask
of Time's getting out to $4. So it's $3.40 Red Excitement, $2.90 the Lord Mayor. It's just been very solid all the way through. It was $2.90, $3, back into $2.90. It's just maintained its price all the way through betting on the NOP.
Yeah, it has. I mean, the only real move has been Red Excitement, hasn't it? Mask of Time's got out, Red Excitement's come in, and they've basically swapped places in the market. Apart from that, it hasn't really moved at all.
Yeah, 3:30 now, Red Excitement, 3:30. So, Lord Mayor on screen, Mask of Time behind them. Naval Warfare, 2 for Waller, the Lord Mayor and Naval Warfare. Embley's got to do something miraculous to find his form. And he's the rank outsider at 20-1. There's the Lord Mayor going in. Here's Darren.
Yeah, the Lord Mayor back from a couple of runs in Victoria, and very well fancy to win the race here today, the Lord Mayor. Red Excitement, though, has been very well backed. Red Excitement, who's only had the 3 runs this preparation. He's a 9-year-old now. Red Excitement about to go forward. Here comes Embley into the gates. Naval Warfare and Red Excitement now the last 2 to move in. So, last 2 going forward. Red Excitement up into the gates. Red Excitement's there. And a Naval Warfare now is the last to move forward. So Naval Warfare coming up. Field of 5 here, 1,900 metres. And the lights on. Favourite drawn the inside. Ready to run. They're off and racing, and Red Excitement hopped out of the gates well. Embley's given a real dig up to try and match it. The Lord Mayor will let the pair go. He'll settle in third, followed by Mask of Time. And Naval Warfare is immediately taken back to the tail of the field. So Embley responding to pressure, found the rails, but Red Excitement is hacking along on the outside. Not going to take Embley on in the early stages. So at the 1,500 metres, Embley will lead by a length and a half. Red Excitement settles in second, 2.5 after the Lord Mayor, followed by Mask of Time, and 3 lengths last of all is Naval Warfare as they work to the back section of the course. So Andrew Adkins has got the lead here on Embley, leads by 3/4 to Red Excitement. Is travelling pretty strongly and stays 1 off the running rail. 2.5 further back to the Lord Mayor as they go past the 1,200 metres. A half length the outside to Mask of Time, looking for his first success on a good rated track, and 3.5 off to Naval Warfare at the rear. So they continue to roll down the back of the 1,000 metres, and Embley trying to make all as they race towards the M4 motorway side of the course by 3/4 on Red Excitement. A length and a half to the Lord Mayor, Mask of Time, and Naval Warfare hasn't been able to make any impression on the field from his rearward position. They swing down the side now, and Embley in front by a half length to Red Excitement, held together. Length and a half to the favourite, the Lord Mayor. On the inside of Mask of Time, and 2 off to Naval Warfare last. They amp it up now, coming to the turn. Embley in front by a neck to Red Excitement is breathing down his neck. Embley under plenty of pressure. The Lord Mayor shown the stick, going to third, then Mask of Time into the straight now, and Parr makes his move on Red Excitement. He draws it 2 lengths clear. The Lord Mayor's not going well. Red Excitement 2 in front of Mask of Time going to second. Naval Warfare's picking up on the inside. Red Excitement 100 metres out, a length and a half clear. Naval Warfare's running on. Red Excitement in front from Naval Warfare, Mask of Time, and Red Excitement wins it. Red Excitement by a long neck to have Naval Warfare, the inside of Mask of Time. The Lord Mayor has not gone at all well today, and Embley was last in.
The old boy Red Excitement at 9 years of age puts another win on the board. It's been officially 658 days since he won a Gosford Cup, and that was on the 13th of January 2017. It's been a long time out of the winners list, but a placing behind Winks, a placing in the Cameron. He's been running in all those top races, and he finally breaks through today. He's closer to the end of his career than the start of it. It would have been a crying shame had they run him down, and they couldn't. They got close in the end. Mask of Time and Naval Warfare came, but he had enough in hand. It's great effort to Gerald Ryan. Great ride by Josh Parr into that 9-year-old. Good on him.
Yeah,
good on him.
There was no Winks today, Greg was there. And look, it was an exciting finish. He looked home on the turn. The others were off the bit doing the chasing. But that 1900 being up on speed was always going to find him out late under the big weight. And the other 2 came charging at him late. But he's dug deep, the old boy. He loves it here at Rosehill. And he's back in the winner's circle.
Well done, Gerald Ryan. That's... it warms the heart a bit to see an old boy like that produce a win after such a long time.
It does. It's funny, I was looking through some old videos the other day of Piero. I was just, going back through Piero's form, and Piero won the Breeders' stakes or Breeders' Plate there as a 2-year-old. And here's this horse was running 6th behind him, and here he is as a 9-year-old still going around, and he's probably racing against some of Piero's sons and daughters.
Incredible. Got into a lovely spot. Embley's out of form, so you probably knew you had the better of him coming around the home turn. He just cruised.
Emily was also a little bit wary of going into the race, you know. Blinkers back on top of the ground, 5 runs back up for a big gross horse. He also thought it might have gave the most trouble, but no, he's an old marvel, and he keeps going, and he's coming up at the right time of his year now for his age. And you know, there's a succession of races now for him. You know, there's another one here in a fortnight, and another one after, and then the Summer Cup after that, and then have his 3rd crack at the Gosford Cup. And no, we'll see. As soon as he shows signs that he's had enough, he'll stop. But no, the bloody old marvel.
Not there yet.
No, not there yet. No.
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Red Excitement gets the money, and Josh Parr is coming back. As we said, he'll be always more famous for a second than he will be for any of his wins. And Josh Parr gets him home today. The time between wins has been 658 days. But he did run second to Winks. 2, the winner, Red Excitement, Josh Parr, Gerald Ryan. 3, Mask of Time for Mar and Eustace, Glyn Schofield, the rider. 7, Naval Warfare, Kathy O'Hara for Chris Waller. And 5 has run 4th to Lord Mayor. And Embley back in last spot of the 5, 157.29, and they've run 36.25 the last 600 metres. All right, Josh is about to go over the scales. And Paul Joyce is about to catch up with him. I'm sure he'll get a lot of delight out of riding that winner.
I'm sure he will have plenty of delight there, Josh, as you have a quick drink of water on a very hot day out here at Rosehill. Now, Josh, earlier in the day I spoke to you after a Here and One, kicking off a career that could be anything. He's a horse probably nearing the end of his career, but was that just as sweet?
It certainly was. I've taken a lot of joy out of winning on Red Excitement today. He's the example of a war horse. You know, he's been around the block a long time. He's taken on the best horses in the country at times, and he just keeps stepping out and putting his best effort forward. And you can't ask any more of any horse than that, and it's just a pleasure to ride him.
It's a lovely tactical ride today, getting up there on speed in the small field, making the others chase from a long way out. In the end, it just worked.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Look, he's a really good barrier horse. You know, for a horse of his age and races at the distance that he does, it's quite amazing the speed that he has out of the barrier. So he does help me in that way. But then from then on, we had a nice time outside leader, and Wembley was never going to be able to take us all that far. So when it dropped off, it meant I had to go for home, a long way from home. But he's just such a tough, beautiful animal.
Well done, Josh. A popular win.
Ta.
You're never too old, you're just too lazy. Red Excitement wins, and we'll be back at Rosehill when they're in the yard for the next.